Ah, London. It's this incredible mashup of ancient history and, super modern life. But how do its different neighborhoods, its key districts, tell the real story of its power, its culture, and its identity? Well, that's what we're about to find out.
And look, this isn't going to be your average run-of-the-mill tour. Nope. We are going to break down the three distinct hearts of London. We're talking power, culture, and history, and we're going to do it all in just a few minutes. Buckle up.
All right, so let's get started, and we're going to begin where honestly so much of London's story has been written. Okay, our first stop is Westminster. Now, this isn't just another neighborhood, it's basically the dual engine of the entire United Kingdom. It's the seat of royal tradition and democratic power all in one place. And get this, for over 1,000 years, decisions made right here, in just these few blocks, have literally shaped the world. I mean, just think about what this list represents, right? You've got the Houses of Parliament, where politicians are debating the future, all while the Elizabeth Tower keeps watch. But then, literally right next door, you have Westminster Abbey. That's the stage for royal coronations going all the way back to 1066. It's this constant, visible reminder of the two huge forces, the monarchy and the government, that really define Britain. There's this classic quote from Samuel Johnson: "When a man is tired of London, he is tired of life." And honestly, when you're standing right here in Westminster, surrounded by 1,000 years of power struggles and royal pageantry, you totally get what he meant. You just feel it. Okay, check out this number, 13.7. What's that all about? Well, that's how many tons the Great Bell, the real Big Ben, actually weighs. For over 150 years, its chime has marked the time for British politics. It's a literal and figurative heavyweight, this constant presence watching over all the nation's big decisions. But hey, London isn't all politics and royalty, not by a long shot. Let's just take a short walk across Westminster Bridge, and suddenly we're in a completely different world. We're leaving all that formal grandeur behind and stepping right into the creative energy of the South Bank. This is the city's cultural pulse, for sure. A walk along here is like a mini journey through all kinds of culture. First, you can get a literal bird's-eye view of the city from the top of the London Eye. Then, you can dive into the literary world at the Book Market. And to top it off, you can go challenge your whole perspective with some world-class art at the Tate Modern. It's just a perfect snapshot of London's creative scene. And we're talking 135 meters tall. The London Eye isn't just some tourist attraction. It's really a modern monument to the idea of seeing things from a different angle. It literally lifts you up and out of those historic streets to give you this fresh, totally new perspective on everything. The Tate Modern just perfectly captures the spirit of this place. It's housed in the giant shell of the old Bankside power station. So they literally transformed a hub of industrial energy into a hub of creative energy. It's just a masterclass in how London takes its past and uses it to power its future. So clever. All right, so from London's modern cultural heart, we're going to jump way back in time to its ancient core. We're heading east to the original Roman settlement, the place where the entire story of London kicked off, the City of London. Now, you'll often hear this area called the Square Mile. It's a nickname that's a nod to its origins as that Roman settlement. But today, it's a global financial powerhouse. It's this amazing place where London's most ancient history smashes right up against its most modern ambitions. And this timeline really shows you the sheer resilience of the Square Mile. I mean, it goes from its Roman founding as Londinium to building the Tower of London, then surviving something as catastrophic as the Great Fire, all the way to becoming the global financial hub it is today. It's just an incredible story of constant rebuilding and reinvention. And the Tower of London itself, it's always had these two faces, hasn't it? On one hand, it was a royal palace and a fortress, but its darker side, as this infamous prison, is just as much a part of its story. It's this one place where the nation's greatest treasures were protected and its greatest enemies were locked away. Wild. And this is where London's identity is just so crystal clear. You can literally stand there and touch a 2,000-year-old Roman wall that's at the base of a gleaming modern skyscraper. Here in the Square Mile, the past isn't just something you remember. It's the actual foundation that the future is built on. So, after all that, what does this little journey tell us? We've seen three very different Londons, right? The center of power, the hub of culture, and that ancient financial core. So the big question is, how do these separate identities come together to create one single amazing city? Well, here's the key takeaway. London's real strength is in its contrasts. It's a city with immense political power, but it's also this freewheeling hub for culture. It's a guardian of deep history, but it's also constantly building the future. And these aren't contradictions. No way. They're the very source of the city's incredible energy.
And that, right there, is what defines London. The incredible density of its stories. You can be on one block that's all about centuries of royal decrees, and then turn the corner, and the next block is all about boundary-pushing modern art. Walking through London really is like constantly turning the page into a brand new chapter.
And just like that, our time is up. But London's story, it's absolutely endless. We've just looked at 3 of its chapters: power, culture, and history, and seen how they all exist at the same time. So maybe the real question isn't just which one you'll explore, but how a city can be so deeply rooted in its past while at the same time relentlessly racing toward the future. Something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me.